Hi there, welcome to AMS TV.
Good evening and welcome to AMS TV, and before our game against Sporting Castle tonight we're interviewing the chairman of the club, David Gregory. Good evening, Dave.
Hello Ben, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
I'm good. Well, I think the proudest achievement really is to secure the Wicks Stadium facility that we've got on a 25-year lease from the Telford and Wreaton Council. We've been given carte blanche to upgrade the facilities and to manage the facilities. And one of the things that we did when we first got involved here was to promise the local people that we would produce a junior section. And in the 8 years that we've been here, we've produced, we're now running 14 junior sides, a reserve side, an under-17 side and an elite side. And in that 8 years, we haven't just stood still and produced junior footballs. We've gone through about 5 leagues with our senior team, as you well know, Ben, because you were associated with a very successful period in the club's history. And we're playing now at a higher standard than we've ever played at before. Okay, we might be in a relegation battle at the moment, but the bigger picture is that the club's playing at level 6 now, and it's never played anything close to that level before. Well, it's vital to us because when we talk to our funders, which are Sport England, Football Association and the Football Foundation, they will fund you at the higher level you are, they'll give you more funding. So with the development of the club, we've got some big plans for this closed season in terms of drainage for the pitch and refurbishment of the pitch. We've built the infrastructure quite well. It's not how we would like to see it in 20 years' time perhaps, but at the moment we're concentrating on the pitch. And relegation from the Premier Division would be a bit of a disaster because some of our funding would drop off. We climbed most of the hurdles regarding the FA Cup. When you get into level 6 and into the West Midland Premier Division, you have to have 1 year in the FA Vars, which we did this year. We had our first year in the FA Vars. And then when you've had 1 year in the FA Vars, you then have to finish in the top 10 or maybe the top 12 and you get in the FA Cup. Clearly we're not going to be invited into the FA Cup this year, but hopefully we really have got to set our sights and get into the FA Cup next year. I want to continue developing the club as much as I can with the energy and the enthusiasm I've still got for the club. I think it's important to get some young blood in so they can work under me for a couple of years and then carry on what I've started off. I don't think I'll ever leave the amateurs except in a box perhaps, but I'll always be around to mentor people and to keep things moving in the right direction. Well, level 5 isn't a massive step, and in achieving level 6 we're 3/4 of the way to getting level 5. We've probably got to spend about another £1,000, maybe £2,000 to ensure that we get level 5. So if we did have a good season next year and we were in sight of promotion, we would get the chequebook out and start putting a few more seats in, a little bit more hard standing around the ground, and then we've got level 5. Once you've gone past level 5, you're moving into semi-professional ranks. A little bit more difficult to make that next step up, but I think we've got to keep our feet on the ground and say level 5 is our aim, and then if the enthusiasm and if we've got the young talent coming through, we might well look at going to level 4. We would like eventually to build a new clubhouse with integrated changing facilities and a function room, and that's something that we're going to look at over the next couple of years. And before we moved into level 4, I'd like to try and get that kind of thing in place. So there is still some work to do on the infrastructure, but the infrastructure will take us certainly into level 5. We've had a lot of support, firstly from the Telford and Wreaton Council. I must say that when he was in power, Andrew Reid was a big support to us, and Culdip Sahota is now supporting us as well. We've had a lot of support of Telford and Wreaton Council. The Football Foundation has supported us brilliantly. The floodlights were supplied by Sport England through the Olympic Legacy grant. We've had money from the Football Association. We've got people at the club like Graham McDermott, who's the club treasurer, who's been brilliant on the funding side. He's supported me brilliantly on that side. And I think between us, me and Graham have raised something in the region of £100,000 of funding through them 3 or 4 bodies that I've talked about. We've got plans. We've got a youth under 17 side this year that's playing in an under 18 league. We probably will fetch another youth side into the club next year. I'm talking to a very experienced coach at the moment who wants to bring a very talented bunch of players over to us. And then we have then a pool of 20 or 30 very good 17-18-year-old players that we can bring into our first team. But what we want to do next year is really try and get a little bit more experience into the side so that these youngsters aren't coming into a very young side, and that we've got some people there who can help bring them through. Each of our teams has got some form of sponsorship from local businesses who are very supportive to us. Our main sponsor is the Wicks Group, who we're coming to the end of a 5-year sponsorship with them. So we're in talks with Wicks at the moment, but if Wicks doesn't happen, then we'd be looking for a major sponsor who could come in and do a 5-year deal with stadium naming rights. And below that, we would dearly love to have a lot more support, because we are doing a good job here. We're providing football for 250 people, whether they be under 6s, under 7s, right through to the senior side. We've got 35-year-olds playing for us, but we're giving a lot of people the opportunity to play their sport in a safe environment. I think so. We made that promise to Telford and Region Council, to the Woodbridge Primary School. When we came in, we said we would set up a junior section. The very first side that we had, I was here the Saturday morning they turned up. They all turned up with white legs and white boots. Went on, nobody else wanted them. We gave them a game. They lost their first game 27-0. And 7 years on, they won the Shropshire Youth Cup on the Bucks Head. And that was a very, very proud moment for me, because we developed those lads right through to that skill level and become the elite, if you like, of the city, from the side of no hopers right through to an elite team.
Okay, thanks very much for your time this evening, Dave. It's a bright future for the club, and wish you all the best. Thank you.